So he said basically either lease it or you get the warranty thing. Also, there's one other thing about this thing. This will get hot on you.
Yeah, it does.
It does get hot. So you know, if you got what we were doing, like we were on the way to Las Vegas and stuff or elsewhere, I just been holding it in my hand up like that, or I set it on something, you know, that's got
a little bit of air
underneath it, so it doesn't burn up because it basically it tends to get the hot the faster the connection, the hotter it tends to get. So I'm wondering what happens if we ever get a 1 gigabyte connection.
Well, you know, I think because part of it is I'm comparing this to the old one, right? I'm not comparing it to what's available from Verizon or from AT&T because we've just been using the Sprint one.
Yeah.
But I have to tell you that one of the things that I do love, besides it not only going really fast, but I love the visual part.
Yeah.
Because you have some clue as to what's going on.
Well,
so
we know that when you lose it, okay, the problem is like when you're using a computer or your tablet or your cell phone, all of a sudden, you know, what happened? And what happens is you've ran, you know, you're out of your area and it's reconnecting again. And then it will be slow until it runs pretty fast, but it runs best when it's in the 1 megabyte upward category.
So the places we've tested this, we've had this, what, about 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've tested it around the LA area, around Las Vegas, the convention center at our trade show, walking around all over the place, the hotels in Vegas.
Yeah, and we came back here and we were using it actually we were using it traveling back and forth between the
LA and Las Vegas, and the Long Beach Grand Prix.
And we've used it there, and we've used it to go live. Actually, we have one live broadcast off of this thing.
Yeah, we've done it out there while we were out on the track.
Yeah, to see if it could be done. And
yeah, testing it and then walking around over the racetrack, because over there they're still in the city, but they're kind of.
Well, what happens is
you know, it's the hotels there and the road.
Because you'll have your because it was a fun thing is that we had we're in the press room. You have Long Beach Grand Prix lunchroom, Long Beach Grand Prix press room, Long Beach Grand Prix this. You could go outside, you could have convention center, and you're basically, there's no consistency on the Wi-Fi system.
Well, yeah, because in one area it was really strong and then we went around the corner and then we lost it. But part of it is we tested this and we were down 1 level, subterranean.
Yeah, that's right. So we were down like an almost basement area. It was working well.
Yeah.
Because we did go live in that area too. We were on the far side of the place, out in the cars. We got awful noisy out there. We're sitting there and doing it. We have went live off of this thing multiple times. Yeah. But we worry about going. Here's the deficiency: is you get a 5 gigabyte plan. Yeah. If you go live too much, you'll eat up your 5 gigabyte plan.
Especially with video.
For video.
Because we're not sure exactly how large those files are. The one other things when we talked about the visual is it does tell you whether you're on 3G, 4G, and it does show you how far you are on the battery power.
Yeah. And it will tell you how long you've been on too. So
oh yeah,
it tells you how many minutes you've been on, and but if you run out of your system, it starts all over again from zero, and that's when you start being on again. Because we're not paying by the minutes, we're paying by the month. By the month, so we don't really care how long it's been on, but it helps us though. For instance, if we're doing live and we don't have. We don't have a clock in front of us. He's counting off the time on this. So since we don't know how much power, how many megabytes we're using for broadcast, you sit there and hold it in your hand, and then because that's what I did with her the other day. I'm sitting here watching it. And we got to 2 minutes, and I'm just going, like that, to try to finish it off.
Well, and also we talked about using it with your cell phone, because some people it's like, okay, your plan's not up, so you have about a 4G phone. Yeah. If you're using a broadband card, you can make your phone 4G with something like this.
That's what they said. This would get up your capability. Like I said, it upped our. We have Android. We have
the tablet is a Wi-Fi. We didn't buy the 3G, which was Verizon only. Yeah. So it was $200 less, and then. And we used the $200 to move over to this thing because this, like I said, this basically it was very faithful to us. It was in rooms where we had no Wi-Fi whatsoever. This allowed us to keep loading things, but. This is like slow as a turtle, and this is fast, but And I don't know how fast the other systems work as far as AT&T and Verizon, or let's see, Virgin. Virgin actually runs off of Sprint anyway, doesn't it?
Runs off of Sprint, actually, and T-Mobile is basically going to be AT&T, so.
Yeah, so they all run off of different systems.
But they all basically all run off. Okay, here's the tip. The company that manufactures this thing, which is Clear Internet, is the company
Clear Channel?
No, it's Clear Internet, not Clear Channel. Clear Channel is another company.
Okay.
Clear Internet is the people that have the heavy. They put all their money into building the 4G system, and then basically, I think what it said this quarter or something or next, they're going to declare bankruptcy because their money went into building a system that all of these people. They are the providers. As I said, we provide 4G for Sprint and Time Warner.
Well, part of it is if you're looking at whether you should select this one or another one, part of it depends on who your current carrier is, who your broadband carrier is, who your cell phone carrier is, and who has the best service. Because we have AT&T cell phones, but we chose Sprint because we heard Sprint's broadband was better for where we operate.
Yeah, well, and you know, it's just because...
and by combining it, you didn't really get that much of a discount anyway.
We know there are dead zones. For instance, you go to Las Vegas, there are dead zones in Las Vegas where AT&T does not work in Las Vegas. You know, it does not work on some places on this trip. So this one will not work in some places in Fresno, which is funny. But it depends upon, because we were, you know, we go to the beach a lot. We had this on at the beach yesterday. We have it on the beach a lot. It depends upon where you're on at the beach or whether you have a 3G or 4G connection. And it could be, you know, 2 car lengths away, and you have a 4G connection. So
I can think of lots of reasons why you'd love to have this. Is there anything that you can think of why they wouldn't want to have it? Actually, and we've been talking about why you should.
They do. I mean, the only thing I can tell you is that
you don't want to pay that much for data.
You don't want to pay that thing. You actually need. Okay, there is no such thing as unlimited. Unlimited is 5 gigabytes, but it does heat up and it will break on you if you're not careful.
So just pay attention to it. But part of it is any electronic devices. The weak point are always when you're plugging it in and if you're jamming in the connection. I mean, that goes without saying. But the heating up, it's like...
If the heating up, you can solve it because, I mean, I've just held it in my hand while we were traveling and working on it. Or you can, when at home, you can basically just set it on anything that basically has air circulating around it and won't heat up and burn anything else. So.
Well, and then the next thing is, should you buy it from Sprint or should you buy it from Best Buy or another company?
Or from Time Warner.
Or Time Warner.
Because that's what I think Time Warner now is pushing this in their advertisements for internet connection.
But Time Warner's, is theirs only available wherever Time Warner cable is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons, because I have Time Warner cable, that I didn't buy it through them.
Yeah.
Although they say, I think it's like $20 a month, which is a whole lot cheaper.
But the problem is Time Warner is wanting to expand, but Time Warner is being hit by the President of the United States net neutrality problem. So Sprint is everywhere. So, but it's just.
So compare the difference from your Sprint carrier versus Best Buy or another retailer.
And to do is what, you know, that we are a net-based company. I did all of my research about what to do and what not to do before we ever went out and got this thing. You know, we were going to get it from another company, and we found out, well, first of all, they're getting ready to declare bankruptcy.
Yeah.
And then she talked to the salespeople, and
I was ready to buy it, and then after they told me what they were going to charge me, which was different, I changed my mind real quickly.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just like nobody is actually. They said the problem with a lot of these things is people are not living up to what they're telling people for the devices or the plans that you can have with them. Those plans don't exist. Not at the prices they quote you. When you go to do the contract, all of a sudden the prices are considerably more. This device here can be used. Basically off of the original manufacturers to run your system in the house. You actually have one of these for the house and one of these to carry around for your business purposes. But there's a problem with the pricing, which is why we, after talking about the pricing, it just simply didn't make any sense to us. Right now, Time Warner is basically running it off of their cable system, and this is a separate piece. This is something that you take with you for your wireless internet.
Yeah, but part of it is we did go through evaluating all of that too, as well as using the cell phone as a hotspot too.
Yeah. So I mean, no, it's just it worked because.
But you got to do what works best for you. But those are just some different considerations. The main reason we chose not to use a cell phone was because I think it maxed out at 2 gigabytes of data.
Yeah.
Right? And then after that it was going to cost you a lot more. And it's like by the time you go through that, it's just like we'd rather just
And at the moment, you have to understand, at the moment, the Wi-Fi hotspots on a cell phone is an added app. It's not really with the phone. Some of the new phones that are coming out.
Well, my phone got updated on the Android, and it says that I can do it.
You can do it now, but a lot of them. Remember, you get the, okay, she's got a cell phone that basically, the reason we got it was because it was going to be upgraded to a higher Android system.
It is, it's on the highest.
And the higher Android system on a cell phone let her do it, but most cell phones do not have, they're not pushing Android 3, so, which we are going to go up to, or on our tablet go to Android 4. We're at Android 3.2 on the tablet. And it does make a difference, but the problem is there's no apps for a lot of this stuff when you move up.
Actually, you know what, that's one of the things, this is kind of on a side note because I'm on Android, is I've got Android on the Motorola Zoom, which is Android, it's the Honeycomb,
it's
right,
the
3.0. And on my cell phone, I think it's 2.3 or
2.3, yeah.
Something like that. But what's available on the Honeycomb at 3 is not the same as the other one.
A lot of it's not compatible. We had to do.
It's kind of frustrating.
When we're doing it, broadcasting off, we're using this to broadcast. I'm speaking with my British accent because I'm hung up on the royal wedding at the moment. Broadcast. I get into this mode when I can't get out of the damn accent. Yeah. So no, but we have an Android phone app for our Motorola Zoom to use this to broadcast live off of, and theoretically, because we'll go on the air and it says live from your Android, cell phone, and then I have to undo that and say no, live from MBN Newsvideoweb, because it basically they don't really have a lot of apps available. I mean, this is really a magnificent device for going out in the field with, but the apps aren't up to this thing even.
Yeah.
So
we're finding that because